Now let's talk about what's going on in the US. As usual, racism and gun terror are in the headlines. This is a story coming out of Kansas City in the state of Missouri. The latest sordid tale features a boy, a 16-year-old black boy. His name is Ralph Yarl, and he was shot in the head. Do you know what his crime was? He rang the wrong doorbell, that's all. He was shot in the head because he rang the wrong doorbell. He was going to pick up his siblings. He accidentally went to the wrong house. Inside was an 84-year-old white man who decided to shoot first and ask questions later. And it gets worse. After the teenager went down, the homeowner shot him again, just to be sure, apparently. And there isn't any real defense of this old man's actions. The gun was fired from behind his door. The teenager had not entered the residence. This has resulted in widespread public anger, as it should. Celebrities have spoken out. Even Vice President Kamala Harris has condemned the incident. And here's what the police said when it happened.
On April 13th, just before 10 o'clock p.m., officers were called to a residence where a teen was shot in front of the residence by a homeowner. The teen was transported to a local hospital for his injuries. The homeowner was taken into custody and placed on a 24-hour investigative hold.
Now, there are a couple of things to unpack here. First, the old attacker was released. Reports say he was released after just 2 hours in custody. He got to sleep in his own bed after shooting a child in the head. Do you know of lots of cases where an attacker shot a child in the head and was allowed to return home? US media outlets have raised this question. Here's what they're asking. What would have happened if a black man had shot a white teenager in the head? Would he be allowed to go home? Chances are he wouldn't. This whole incident reeks of racism, from the shooting itself to how the police handled the aftermath. The other thing that this incident took place last Thursday, and only yesterday, after a gap of 4 days, did the authorities press charges. The victim's family and friends were obviously furious, as were the people protesting against the incident. After the delay, this is what a state prosecutor said.
The defendant, Andrew D. Lester, is charged with the Class A felony of assault in the first degree in that on or about April 13th, 2023, in Clay County, Missouri, he knowingly caused physical injury to P.Y. by shooting him. This is an A felony. It carries with it a range of punishment of up to life. In count 2, the defendant is charged with armed criminal action.
Again, a lot to unpack. The attacker is accused of, quote-unquote, knowingly causing physical injury. The other charge is armed criminal action. And what about attempted murder? He is not charged with attempted murder, and the prosecutor defended this. He says the charges levied carried the highest possible prison time for the shooter.
Was there a racial component to this case, however?
As the prosecutor of Clay County, I can tell you there was a racial component to the case.
So the prosecutor agrees that race definitely played a part here. The attacker's statement to the police also speaks of an irrational fear. He said, and I'm quoting, he was scared to death by the size of the boy, and that at the age of 84, he would not have been able to defend himself. So essentially what he's saying is this: he shot the boy in the head because the boy looked large. Is that even a defense? Unfortunately it is, and it may work. That's because of something called stand your ground laws. These laws grant people the permission to use deadly force if they feel seriously in danger. That's all they have to do, feel that they're in danger, and they can justify shooting. This is a bizarre loophole. Shooters use it all the time. They claim defense, they claim self-defense, even in absurd cases like this one. And do you know how many American states have such laws? 38. 38 American states allow people to shoot at other people because they feel they're in danger. And Missouri is part of that list. Now, we don't know how this will play out in the courts, but here's another case that lays bare all that is wrong with America: rampant racism and trigger-happy citizens protected by the law. On the upside, the child has survived, he's recovering, he's been discharged from hospital and is receiving care at home. And we do hope that he fully recovers and gets justice.